And welcome back to the show. Well, we've got a very special guest on the phone right now because, of course, we know a lot of you out there have been very, very excited ever since Svalbard announced that they were touring Australia for the very first time. So we thought today we would actually get Liam from the band on the phone to chat a little bit about this tour that we know has so many of you excited. Welcome to the program, Liam.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Liam, as I said in the intro, there are so many people excited about this tour. Your last album took off here in a way that I know a lot of people were very surprised about. How do you feel about now heading to Australia for the first time off the back of such a success with that album?
We're very excited. We're all very excited. Yeah, really can't wait. Just surprised that it's actually happening. Just been something that we've wanted to do for a long time, and it's great to hear that so many people are excited about us coming.
So tell us a little bit about that. What's made Australia one of the countries that you've wanted to come to and bring your great music here?
I mean, Australia's always had such an amazing metal scene. It's, the bands that you've produced or the tours we've heard about coming there have been something, that we've always been in awe of.
So what's that journey been like for you being in the band? Like I said, your last album seemed to take off right around the world. There'd been a lot of success with the albums beforehand, but there was something special about that last album that just seemed to launch you guys in so many different countries of the world. What's that journey been like for you being in the band?
It's been amazing. Just feels like our trajectory has been sort of slow and steady, but really reward. Every little milestone we've overcome has been very rewarding, and to now find ourselves on a label like Nuclear Blast, where we were listening to Nuclear Blast bands when we were kids, is pretty incredible. We do have to pinch ourselves sometimes to realise that we're actually in such a privileged position.
Now, we have a lot of Nuclear Blast bands on this show, and they seem to always have a great story about how that signing happened with Nuclear Blast. We've even had one band who said that they thought that the phone call was a joke and they hung up on the person. What was the story for you with Nuclear Blast? How did it come about, and how did you find out about it?
The guy who was doing the A&R for Nuclear Blast in the UK is someone who's been in the scene for a long time. We've kind of known of each other for many years, even going back to kind of mid 2000s before Svalbard was even a thing. So he kind of approached us and suggested working together. And it just kind of snowballed from there, really. It wasn't a random phone call in the middle of the night or anything. If it had been, then I would have questioned it myself as well.
So going back to your music and the way that people have related to it, what do you think it's been that has made people fall in love with your music? Is it the fact that you guys sing about real things that people can identify with, like depression and emotional strength and things like that? What is it that you think has made people fall in love with your music out there?
I mean, the lyrics are definitely part of it. Quite a large part of it, I think. I think Serena does a really good job of writing in a way that makes people feel not alone. When I'm doing my parts of the vocals, I can really get behind every word and lyric because I feel that way myself about things, just like I think many people do. So it resonates with people, and I think we write music that is kind of heavy but beautiful, so it can tick many different kind of boxes with people. People who like a lot of different genres would find something in Svalbard to get behind.
Yeah. Does it surprise you sometimes when you read her lyrics, like when you're working on a new album and you start seeing her lyrics for new songs for the first time? Does it surprise you?
Um, I mean, the lyrics are definitely part of it. Quite a large part of it, I think. I think Serena's does a really good job of writing in a way that makes people feel not alone. When I'm to me more later when we've finished recording. Usually because I get the lyrics a couple of days before I have to record them, so I have to start just frantically working on them. So I think when it's kind of like the debrief afterwards. When everything's done, all the pressure recording is done, you get the mix back and you sit down with everything. You read the lyrics back while you're listening to it, and that's when it really hits home. And every little part of it that just weaves so nicely into the music.
We've found on our show that we get a lot of people who request your music, and they'll say, "I'm going through this a certain personal crisis at that time, and I need that song at the moment. I need to hear it, or it's helping me." Do you have people come up to you and talk about the lyrics of your tracks and how it's helped them through different times in their lives?
Definitely do get messages on social media about that, and I know people do go up to Serena at shows and talk to her about the lyrics. So it's great, and I think she's very happy to be able to help people. I mean, that's what art's all about, isn't it? It's creating something that other people can enjoy and find some solace in, you know?
Yeah. With your music meaning so much to so many different people, does that make it difficult to put together a set list, especially for a country like Australia that you've never been to before?
Yes. Also, depending on how long it's been since we've played other songs, will determine whether a song makes it into the set list and how much of the song people can remember. So, yeah, I just started thinking about this on these calls actually, about what we'd play for our set there, and we haven't really discussed it. But I think mainly we'll play mostly from the last two albums, maybe a couple of little deep cuts. Maybe we'll see. If there is any preference, then please do let us know.
Sophie, I was going to say, do you check like Spotify lists and stuff like that to see which songs are doing well in which cities? Because I know that seems to be a go-to for a lot of bands these days. They use the Spotify analytics.
Yeah, it's not something we've done before. I have looked at it, but it's not anything we've based sets on before.
Yep.
So maybe we will this time. I'm not sure. Sometimes it just it depends on what feels right playing wise.
Yeah. Now, talking about Australia, have you ever been here at all, like away from the band, or is this your first time in Australia full stop?
This is all of us. This will be our first time, apart from our drummer, who's been, I think, around the year 2000. I think, yeah.
All right.
Apart from that, no. But we've been told to watch out for the drop bears.
Yeah, so the big question, that kind of leads into that, but what are you guys hoping to do away from the stage? Like, is there anything on your bucket list that you want to do while you're in Australia?
I know Serena wants to avoid as many spiders as she can. I think we've got to get the obligatory cute koala metal band photo. What else? I think everyone else is going to be leaving straight after the last show, but it's my birthday the next day, and I refuse to fly on my birthday, so I'm going to stick around in Melbourne for a day or two, I think. So I will just be milling around and seeing what's what, I think. If you have any please let me know.
Yeah, well, what do you like to do? Like, that's my home city, so I'm in Melbourne. So what do you like to do away from the stage? Are you someone that likes to explore food, culture, wildlife? What do you like to do?
I like to wander, I like to eat vegan food, and I like beer.
Well, we've got lots and lots of beer gardens and actual breweries now as well in Melbourne, so you'll be well and truly at home there. I think we've got some of the best vegan restaurants in the world in Melbourne. So
I've heard.
Yeah, Melbourne's got a very, very big food and drink culture. So yeah, food and the arts are a big thing in Melbourne, so you'll definitely be in your element there.
The child in me kind of wants to go to the set of Ramsay Street as well.
Yep, well, they're back up and running now as well, so that can definitely happen. So, but one of the things that we do have here in Melbourne that so many people love, we have what we call laneway culture. So, Melbourne was built almost like an English city. So in the early days, there was a lot of alleyways, and nowadays those laneways have all been taken over by street art and small stores and little cafes and stuff. So a lot of people love to wander down our laneways and just explore what's in each laneway. So there's everything in there from street art right through to art installations and everything. So yeah, that's well worth a look.
That sounds amazing. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, there's little places like there's a bookshop called the Haunted Bookshop, and yeah, like there's also, if you love, sorry,
Haunted.
Yeah, it's called the Haunted Bookshop because apparently there is a ghost in there, but it also has books about the supernatural and things like that in there as well. So
that sounds good.
There's also, if you want to travel a little bit out of Melbourne, a couple of suburbs over, there's a great music store called Greville Street Records. A lot of bands who travel like to go in there. They've even had Nirvana in there in the early days. I think Dave Grohl still goes there whenever he gets here. So yeah, that's well worth exploring as well.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
No worries. So mate, what have you got planned for the rest of this year though? Like off the back of this really successful album, what have you guys got planned for the rest of 2024?
We are going on tour around Europe with Enslaved and Wayfarer in 2 weeks for start. Then we also have some summer festivals, and then we come to Australia and go to Japan as well.
Awesome.
Then we have other things later in the year which I can't say anything about.
Yeah. Does what's happened like with this album, does that put more pressure on you now when you sit down to work on the next album, or have you already started that?
We haven't started, no. I mean, I'm always riffing. I think everyone's always riffing, so there's always, there's stuff in the bank, but we haven't started working on it in a collaborative way yet. So we will probably do that at some point this year. Start.
Yeah. Well, Tim, I've just noticed we are running out of time very, very quickly. So to finish off, what would you like to say to all of your fans out there before they go out and grab tickets to this amazing tour?
Just thank you so much for picking up the album or listening to it, just giving us the time. Can't wait to meet you all in May when we come over. It's going to be amazing. Really can't